All right, so Christmas came early. I'm super excited about this. This is a makeup brush cleaner that is electric, and it comes with both a cleaner that spins as well as a dryer. So I'm going to show you how all this works, but first just wanted to show you the packaging that it came in. So here's the box. It did, of course, come with this. This is a completely separate reservoir, but this unit came completely as is, as you see it right this second. And then inside this right here, so this is the dryer, there was this black velvet bag as well as 2 sponges. And so inside the velvet bag, I was actually surprised to see that not only do you get a charger that you need to charge the device, but they actually gave you a full wall unit. And so this typically doesn't come in packaging, so that was actually a really nice plus. And then these sponges, it'll make more sense obviously when we talk about the drying mechanism, but just really excited about this. So what I used to use is just like a handheld little makeup brush cleaner that you pour the solution on and you literally just by hand just move it back and forth. And that seemed to obviously do the trick, but then as you would blot it on the paper or you would rinse it out, you would just see tons of makeup that was still coming out of it. And it just felt like I could never get it completely out of the brush. And so much product, unfortunately, being left in there. And then of course, when you're trying to reapply it, it just doesn't go on smooth if you don't get your brushes really clean. So I'm going to show you how this works. So I went ahead and I filled this just to accidentally went a little over the fill line, but there is a fill line in here. So I went ahead and just filled it with really warm water. And I'd like to just show you that the lid just comes off. And this right here, this is silicone, all of these shapes, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to put your brushes through here and you just find a size that works for the size brush that you have. So I'm just using eyeshadow brushes and blending brushes for your eyes, so they're smaller, but you can see that you can have larger foundation brushes or blush brushes in here, and it'll get it really clean. So all of these geometric shapes, you want to find one obviously that is smaller so that you want the brush to stay in there pretty sturdy because it's going to be moving around. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is inside there's actually the cleaning mechanism and the silicone bristles inside on the actual device that moves around. So I'm excited for that. And then of course this right here just has a little wheel that moves, and so when we turn this on, it's going to be spinning the brushes as we've got the solution in there. And then when we're done, then we'll move them over here. And this also is a silicone base that you just put your brushes through. And it goes inside here so that there's a fan running, and then there's a UV light once you turn it on. So let's go ahead and just get this set up, and then we can actually hit start. So let's go ahead and plug in the device. Actually, since I'm a little further away and I'm using my table, I went ahead and just got a longer cord that's already plugged into the wall here. So when you put your brushes in, you don't want to shove them through here, right? That's not going to work. So before you actually put them in, is just go ahead and put them in from the opposite direction. So then that way when you put the lid on, then everything is really sturdy. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple here, separate them, add a little bit of space between them so that they can get really nice and clean. And there's enough space for them to move around. I'm gonna move this one over here. There we go. And you want to make sure that there's enough space so that they're not dragging the ground of this thing, but they are able to actually touch those silicone bristles that are down there. So you want them basically being able to touch just the top of it, but you don't want them dragging. So once you're satisfied with the length that you have them, I'm going to go ahead, you could have put the solution in beforehand, so I'm just going to go ahead and add some of this just regular makeup brush cleaning solution that I've already had. And I just make sure that this is secure, it's not coming off, and that my lid is on. And so I'm going to hit the button on this device. Very simple. So we just have a fan, we have a plus and a minus symbol for the strength, and then we just have an on button. So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, so we're gonna hit the on button, and it goes ahead and it sets a timer of 6 minutes. You can see that it's got a really cool light in here, and what it's doing is it's rotating both clockwise and counterclockwise so that it can get a lot of that makeup out, and just, again, like a washing machine that you wash your clothes in. It's just moving everything both directions, and then, of course, this fun light that's down here And you can just let this go. You can see the water starting to turn colors. This isn't a large foundation brush, so you're not going to see that dark brown in there. Certainly you're going to have some color to it because we're working off of the eyeshadow palettes. So I just hit stop, and this ran for about a good solid 6 minutes. So 6 minutes is the minimum, but the plus and minus symbols right here, you can actually go up in time. So if you wanted to wash your brushes for like 10 minutes straight, you can set it at 10 minutes and you could do that. So you can tell that I've got really murky water here. And so what I want to do is I want to go dump this in my bathroom sink. And then if you want to, which we do recommend, is be able to just clean water in there, or again, you could add some more solution and maybe just do it one more time to make sure that you again are getting all of that makeup out. But if you're pressed for time and you don't have time to do that, I would just say a good couple minutes spin just in straight, just hot water is likely good to go. And so I'm gonna go ahead and step away for just a second and go do that and come back and fill this with hot water, and we're gonna go through the next phase of the process. So I came back and I just have some hot water. And so one of my brushes wasn't really touching the little bristles in there very well. I noticed that I put it probably too far over here. And so I would recommend obviously using a smaller space closer to the middle. And unfortunately this one didn't get as clean as I wanted it. So you can see that's why the water a little bit is changing color, but the other two are really clean. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run this again through just a warm water cycle. So let's go ahead and let's just turn that on. And again, you see the 6 minutes, and you can see the difference in the water, just how clear that is. Even that little bit of makeup that was still coming off this one brush, this is really clean. And so I can move my brush around just a hair if I needed to. Oh, it's considerably different than what I just had in there. So you can tell that, excuse me, and that it is working really well. That looks really good. So we're gonna go ahead and stop this. So we've got it in the cleaning solution. So let me go ahead and hit pause or stop. And again, you can go up or down on time. And then the button below is just the drying button. So we'll turn that on in just a second. Now they do recommend that you actually rinse your brushes under running water. And so I'm gonna go dump this again in the sink and just, well, okay. So they do recommend that after you're done, you actually run your brushes just under running water. And so for just sake of time, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna blot these on here, and I'm just gonna put them straight into the drying mechanism because I think that it did a pretty good job of cleaning everything off. So I'm just pushing the brushes through here. Again, it's just a silicone base, so they're coming out really easy like that. I can keep this on here if I wanted to, or since I have water in it, I can just go ahead and put it to the side because I'm gonna use the drying mechanism going forward. And so what you wanna do is you do wanna go ahead and you wanna blot a paper towel, or they did come with 2 sponges to help soak up the moisture. So I am just wiping off the actual acrylic part of the brushes, but what you're supposed to do is just take a paper towel and just blot these brushes and get any excess water out of it. So that's all really good and clean right now. And you can see the natural color of this brush. It was a 2-tone, so it was a brown and a blonde on all of these. So you can see that's the design, and they look like brand new brushes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them in again. We're gonna go upside down. So it's just a silicone base that these slide into. Even them out again. And then let me go ahead and turn it on so that you can see when the drying mechanism is on, you can see the blue light and that there's a fan in there. And there's also a timer. So it goes 30 minutes up to 3 hours. So if you were maybe cooking dinner, or you had a lot of different things that you were doing, or you were even heading to town and running errands, you can just set these in here like this, turn it on for up to 3 hours, and just set it and forget it. I've done this before where I've just basically turned it on before I went to bed. I let it run its course, and then when I got up in the morning, all I did was I opened it, and these were completely dry, because nothing is worse than trying to put on makeup when your brushes are still damp. That's just absolutely disgusting, and it doesn't feel good, and makeup doesn't go on right. So again, this is set on 30 minutes right now. However, you can go up to 3 hours, and these will be completely dry and ready to use.
And it doesn't hurt anything if you just wanted to pick it up, take a look at it, see how dry they were, and if you weren't satisfied yet, you can put them back in. You can rerun the cycle if for whatever reason you have a really thick bristle brush and you need a little bit more. So that is it in a nutshell. Add your cleaner, add your water to the reservoir, silicone base for each of these things. And again, you can set a timer on the washing mechanism as well as the drying. So if you're looking for something more than the handheld makeup remover, I would absolutely check this out. This is going to be an amazing Christmas gift for all of your cosmetic lovers.